Gaines Garrett, welcome to the iSigma podcast. The only guest. Nobody else after you, but there's a specific reason I wanted you to end the podcast this year. And you are now officially the president of iSigma. So welcome. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, very humbled to be elected president and, excited for the next year.
So for those who don't know you, because you've been around for a while, but for those who don't know you, give us a little bit of your professional background in the industry. Tell us who you are. Not who you are. We know who you are, but tell us the business. Give us a little bit more of your story.
Sure. So Secure Shredding and Recycling was actually founded by my stepdad, and he was in the records business before that. So my first summer job in college was implementing a software program in a record center, and that was about 50 miles west of where I was going to school. So that was my first exposure, and then I went on to do some of my own things in the entrepreneurial world. And
well, you can't just. Sorry, I can't let that go because I'm too curious. What kind of things did you play in?
So we were in large part vacuum forming, actually, for about 9 years.
Large part vacuum forming, so
plastics,
like manufacturing for other industries.
We had some of our own products, but also we're making products for other folks that
really
that would contract us out.
So you did that for a number of years, and then what happened?
So we sold that business in 2017, and at that time, Jay Babb, who a lot of people in the industry know, he's my stepdad, and he said, "Look, we've either got to grow this thing or we've got to get it ready to sell." And so that was our next adventure, and only about 11 months in, we bought our largest competitor locally rather than exiting, and the rest is kind of been history.
And you've been on a little bit of an acquisition journey over the last few years.
Sure, I think we've done 7.
Yeah.
Various sizes and various sort of verticals. So the last couple have been more towards the ITAD space.
Okay.
But I say the last 2 major ones. The most recent one we just completed was another shredding company in the San Antonio area.
And you also have a business that focuses on like VA and stuff like that too, right?
That's correct. So we do a tremendous amount of government work.
Yeah.
And blessed to have a partner in John Dunlap. He is a service-disabled veteran, and we built a business around. Many people remember Don Gerard.
Yep.
When Don was looking to exit, it was really difficult for him to find a buyer, and we were able to put a group together that not only would allow him to exit, but do so from a compliance standpoint. And we acquired, I think around 30 contracts at that time, most of which were through the VA, and we're up over 60 now. So
wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So you came back into the business, the family business, and started growing and acquiring and sort of evolving that. And so, without having to give away any confidential numbers, how big are you now? Like, how many trucks are you running? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just give a sense of what kind of company you've built.
So Secure Shredding is about 35 trucks.
Wow.
Roughly 28 of those are shred trucks.
Okay.
On-site mobile.
Like on-site mobile ones.
And then we've got some box trucks and vans. We at certain locations we do off-site service, but really through the VA footprint that we built, that was on-site mobile expansion.
Right.
And we've got a tremendous number of teaming partners throughout the industry now.
Hey, you can't do that really without all your partners too.
Not at all.
Right. The VA business.
Absolutely.
And so undoubtedly some of the other businesses. Oh, really cool. Weirdly, as much as I've watched you over the years, I didn't know those numbers. So that's really cool. That's really great. So you, when did you first get connected to the whole NAID world?
Sure. So about 5 years ago, I got nominated to run for director, and really wanted to take that next step in my career. I knew that relatively shortly thereafter, my stepdad was going to be looking to retire, and so we were going to buy him out and look at taking that next step and in being a leader in the industry. And so enjoyed only 1 year as a director, and then became the treasurer.
You got pulled in really quickly.
I did, and that was So I walked into my first board meeting following conference, and that was the board meeting that Bob Johnson said,
Right.
"Love you guys, been a great ride, but I'm out of here." Right?
That's beautiful. Talk about jumping right into the fire.
That was it, and
Beautiful.
So then immediately getting pulled into the treasurer position after that, and going through all the transition there.
Yep.
I think I made a joke about it today. It was like, I think I'm the only treasurer ever that's had to report losses 2 years in a row that were astronomical in nature, and so that was a learning experience to say the least.
So you've been on the board for a while, obviously, because you don't ever get to the president spot until you've been served, and you kind of work your way into the process. But what have been the biggest, lessons or insights or stuff that have come from, instead of just being an operator and a very established, well-run operator, acquiring and all those kind of things? What have been some of the cool insights or lessons you've gotten from being now on the board side in the particular, in the particular roles you've played up until today? Like, what are some of the things that you've gone, oh man, I never knew that, or wasn't really aware of that, or I don't know, anything. I don't know if I have forming the question right, but sometimes there's just cool things occur.
Well, I think this is one of the most unique industries that I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
I think it gets talked about pretty regularly around these parts, but people are so willing to share their knowledge, their experience. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced in any other industry.
Yeah.
And I've had the benefit of being a part of a few now. And, for me, that openness, that relationship piece of it that you see not just at the board level, but really throughout the entire industry has been amazing to me. And so those people on the board have become such great friends, but also mentors. Yeah. And that's been the thing that surprised me the most. I've been a part of other boards, and no other board that I've been a part of does everybody take off their, secure shredding hat or their, whatever company they work for, and really engage in what's best for the industry. And I think that's extremely unique.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's such, and I've tried to make sense of it over the years. What makes this one? Because I, like you, I've been in multiple industries, and I call this my home industry. But I've been in, and like you go, what's different about, why do we function this way? And I've tried to make sense of it, and sometimes I think it's because we're small enough to be intimate, versus industries that have 10,000 or 200,000. But that intimacy that comes with showing up, but there's still something different, because I've been in other small industries and it's not the same. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that one? What's different?
Well, I think, frankly, I think the larger companies have done a great job continuing to participate and support the industry, not just for their benefit, but for the benefit of the smaller companies. Yeah. And that allows growth. It allows, folks to have a place to go when they've decided it's time to exit, or for whatever reason, But that, I think, is really unique, is that the incumbents, if you will, are also sharing knowledge. They're also, participating in the organization at a really high level. And so I think that's I think that's been a big part of it.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, as the incoming president, you've obviously, you that baton got handed to you today. What are some of the initiatives, ideas, thoughts you have coming into this next year? You got kind of a year to make your mark, unless, of course, like Rick Jackson, you get sort of saddled with another year. But
yeah, that would take a really unique circumstance that I don't think is available to me. But I think there's a couple of things really. I think I would like to see us get back to the advocacy portion.
Yes,
I think we've built a name, especially NATE AAA certification. Yep. It matters, right? And I want to see us re-engage at a high level on advocacy.
Yeah, love it.
And because I think it's important. I think we're entering a period of disruption, maybe unlike anything that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think likely unlike anything we've ever seen. And so we need a seat at that table.
Right.
Because we have the historical background, we have the leaders, we have the people that are part of this organization that can help guide through all of that.
Yeah.
But if we're not advocating for ourselves, no one will.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to be a big push. I think certification enhancement, I think as what our companies that are part of our membership are doing and the things that are important to our customers, as those things are changing, I think our certification needs to change with it.
Yeah, that's good.
And so when you really combine those two things, that's going to be the focus.
Love it. I think sometimes, the pendulum swings back and forth between, like when you became the treasurer, obviously there was some deficit and there's some operational stability needed. And you're a business guy, this is just how you think. But like, it feels like it's swung back. And when the treasurer Bowman announced today, like we got cash in the bank, that's when you start thinking, okay, how do we now bring something back? And I love those two concepts because advocacy is a thing that I feel like needs the pendulum needs to swing back because Paul from Australia, it was really interesting. I was talking to him and he was going how well he's leveraged the NATE AAA certification and he's done it at an advocacy level. Like that's where he's really pushed the envelope.
Absolutely. And Paul's become a very good friend.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed getting to spend some time with him. He visited me in Baton Rouge, and we've talked about this extensively. But it is so important that NATE AAA, and I Sigma.
Yep.
Even if we come up with some additional ways in which to advance certification, that I Sigma remains the leader.
Yeah.
And our members deserve that. And so that's what we're hoping to do.
Very cool. Well, we're ending this conference now with you as president. Give me your presidential view on this event. Like, how do you feel about the event? You obviously have very keen eyes. I know you do because I've heard from other people. You and I haven't talked a lot over the years, which I find quite amazing. But all the people I know who talk to you say that you're like brilliant and you have ways of looking at the world that are really cool. So as you look at this event, what's your synopsis? What's your take as we end this conference tonight?
I think there's a tremendous amount of energy here.
Yeah.
I think that's been one of the kind of common themes is just everybody's feeling that energy, which really excites me because I think the opposite is, we enter these periods of disruption and everybody clams up and gets scared and I don't sense that.
No. I
sense people that are enthusiastic about it. I think what you did today with the vibe coding thing, I mean, these are things we need to be leaning into. Right.
Yeah.
And but I sense an incredible amount of energy. I think our corporate partners are feeling better than they have in years about where we're headed, and what their opportunities are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I'm incredibly enthusiastic. I think it's been a great event. We've been blessed to be in San Diego, which it's tough to beat that.
No, it's great venue. I really like the venue too. Good venue, because I feel like it fits our size of group.
Sure.
Which is really cool. So
Sure.
the size, just the bar here, that when something about sort of the right venue also adds energy.
There's no doubt. And sometimes we go to places and it feels like the expo hall is like swallowed up by the size of the place.
Yeah.
Or you mentioned this because of the size of the group, and it's like this just feels very like it fits.
Yeah, but that's sometimes the really cool concept of architects think about this a lot. But the space actually creates the energy sometimes, right? So the right space creates good energy. This one's, I felt like, had good energy, and it was cool to see. I don't know, I can't remember if so 22 years ago the conference was here.
Okay.
22 years ago now, and there was one shred truck. So it was the first time that Prism and Nade had a sort of joint session, and there was one shred truck outside of the white tent out there. And to see it, the last couple of days, how many shred trucks were lined up it was like, and really cool stuff, like really cool, interesting shred trucks coming, which must excite you because, to see the kind of cool technology that keeps evolving out of here.
I think it's amazing. You look at the small format stuff.
Yeah.
You look at the different product destruction stuff.
Yeah.
And that's really encouraging to me that we're not just sort of relying on the old ways, right? We're leaning into what is going to matter in the future, and I think the staff did a fantastic job.
Yeah, they really did.
I think the sessions have been really valuable, and at the end of the day, the relationship piece of it is so important. And so to kind of have everybody here, you get to some of these bigger places and everyone kind of gets dispersed.
Yeah.
And you don't get to see all of everybody every night.
Yeah.
And and I've loved just getting to reconnect with folks regularly. You're seeing the same folks night in and night out, and being able to just keep those relationships growing, and I think it's been fantastic.
Very cool. Well, I want to say to you on behalf of the industry, the community, thank you for the work you've done up till now, but more importantly, thank you for the work you're about to start. As Rick Jones said, you're about to call Nate 20 times a month.
Yeah.
So enjoy the new experience, and I know you're going to do a magnificent job. I think you're the perfect guy to lead us through this next year, and I'm really grateful for what you're going to be doing and what you have done, but more importantly, where you're taking us this next year or so. So thank you again for being a part of it. Thank you for bookending the conference, and kick butt this year.
We're going to do our best. Thanks so much for having me, Tom.
Thanks.